I'm almost at 100,000 subscribers here on YouTube, but we're not there yet, okay? We still got a little while to go, and if you sub to the channel, it would really help. Everybody's favorite laughing inflatable tube man inspired alien Pokemon has finally got its own Pokemon V-Star. That's right, Deoxys V-Star is a powerful new promo card with the Psychic Javelin attack, which does 190 damage and 60 damage to one of your opponent's benched Pokemon V. And its Star Force V-Star attack can take some huge one-hit knockouts. It does 60 damage times the amount of energy attached to both active Pokemon. So if you have 3 energy on your Deoxys and your opponent has 3 energy on their active Pokemon, you're going to do 360 damage, enough damage to one-hit KO anything in the Pokemon trading card game. I'm stoked to show off my new Deoxys V-Star deck list, but before we get to it, let's head over to FullGripGames.com. FullGripGames.com is the #1 place to buy Pokemon trading card game singles and sealed product. We've got super fast shipping and top-notch grading. You really won't find better service anywhere than at FullGripGames.com. We've also got pre-orders up for Silver Tempest sealed product, so make sure to check that out so you can get your Silver Tempest cards as soon as possible. Thank you so much for shopping at FullGripGames.com. Now, let's check out that Deoxys V-Star deck. The deck we have here relies on the Lost Zone engine to power up Deoxys V-Star and really leans into this card's capabilities as a spread attacker. Psychic Javelin is perfect for softening up the opponent's Pokemon V on their bench, which then you can finish off with cards like Sableye and Radiant Greninja later in the game. Sableye's Lost Mine attack can place 12 damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon in any way you like once you have 10 or more cards in the Lost Zone. Radiant Greninja's Moonlight Shuriken attack can deal 90 damage to 2 of your opponent's Pokemon. So with Deoxys V-Star, Sableye, and Radiant Greninja all capable of attacking in this deck, your opponent's bench will never be safe. With Galarian Zigzagoon, you can easily take out Manaphy's or Comfey's, sometimes 2 at a time, with Sableye's Lost Mine attack, clearing the way for Deoxys V-Star to use Psychic Javelin and finish off targets on your opponent's bench. Now, what I really like about this deck is its flexibility and the fact that it can not only spread, but also take huge one-hit knockouts with Deoxys V-Star's Star Force attack. It's really easy to ramp up the numbers with Star Force. Multiplying by 60 is nuts. Even with just 5 energy between Deoxys and the defending Pokemon, you're hitting for 300 damage, which is a ton of damage. And Deoxys also pairs really well with Cramorant, since Cramorant can use Spit Innocently as early as the first turn of the game, going second, dealing 110 damage for free. If you have 4 or more cards in the Lost Zone, then you can follow that up with the Deoxys V-Star Psychic Javelin to finish off the Pokemon V or V-Star that you already swung into with Cramorant and take multiple prizes. This deck is a lot of fun to play, so check it out and let me know what you think of Deoxys V-Star in the comments below. Alright, we got a strong opening hand with a Comfey, and I'm going second against what appears to be a Giratina V-Star deck. We'll see though. I used concealed cards and discarded a Capture Energy, so I'm thinking that this is probably Giratina V-Star, but we'll see shortly. Judging by the switches, you can also, and the Grass Energy, yes, it's really starting to look like Giratina V-Star. So here's a Capture Energy. We'll see what Pokemon my opponent decides to get. Just another Comfey is fine. We do have 2 Sableye, 2 Cramorant, and a Galarian Zigzagoon in this deck. So we can certainly play the single prize game if we want to, but we also don't mind knocking out Pokemon V, and there is a Giratina. Let's start off with Colress's Experiment. Holy moly, I did it! Oh my god, I've done it! This is insane. That is the best Colress's Experiment in the history of Colress's Experiments. We've won the lottery, chat. Oh my god. Let's go. Man, I am thrilled, bro. That was, man, my day is going to be fantastic. What an incredible opening hand. My God. It's so good. I can't believe it. I just can't believe it, man. All right, we're going to go get the Deoxys and Greninja. This all seems really good. And then we can start using flower selecting. So let's do that. We've got a switch. Switch is cool. With Scoop Up Nets, that's all quite good and will allow me to get the turn 1 attack. So let's Scoop Up Nets, send this Comfey up, flower selecting. We find a Marnie and another Scoop Up Nets. I'm good to just keep using Scoop Up Nets to see more cards. So let's do that. Comfey, flower selecting again, and we find another Scoop Up Net. And this is pretty much what we want to do. Just keep using our Scoop Up Nets. Wow, this is such a blessed game. My goodness. We're going to get to use so many Scoop Up Nets on the first turn of the match. Really strong. And I have to watch out for our water energy. Could concealed cards. I think we're going to switch into Cramorant. It might also just be good to attach this energy to Greninja, since I do have such a strong start. We do play Training Court, though, so I think I'll concealed cards one of these. We find Escape Rope. That's cool. So we'll attach a water energy to Greninja, and I don't necessarily want to bench another Comfey because then my opponent might be able to ramp up and Moonlight Shuriken both of my Comfeys. So we don't want to do that. We'll bench this Deoxys, though, and we'll spit innocently for the knockout. So that's a good turn 1 for us. We like our board a lot. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards in the loss zone. So we can Mirage Gate next turn pretty easily. Unfortunately, I did get rid of my Marnie. Marnie is quite good against opposing Lost Box decks, but that's okay. We do have Roxanne in the deck, and my opponent has to get rid of a Zigzagoon, which I love to see, because Zigzagoon is really good against my deck. They can ping Comfeys, and then my opponent can use Sableye to spread damage counters onto my Comfeys and take knockouts. 2 knockouts, specifically. So I've got 2 Pokemon V in play. My opponent now just benches the second Giratina V, and we're kind of gearing up for war. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards in the loss zone. So they'll be able to ramp to 7 next turn easily. And they've got a big hand. Cool. So let's get to flower selecting. Yes. Yes. Colress's experiment. Just what we want to see. Wow, what a crazy game. I've got 7 in the loss zone now. I could just Moonlight Shuriken. If I've got a water left in my deck, I can Moonlight Shuriken to 2 targets. So I think I want to try this first. We do have exactly 1 water. So that's really strong. And we are going to go in with the Radiant Greninja, definitely. We're also going to evolve both these Deoxys, which just makes sense, right? And I can Colress's experiment. And the reason holy moly. The reason I wanted to use the Mirage Gates before I used Colress's experiment was because I wanted to make sure that I didn't draw into one of those water energies off of the Colress's experiment. So we're good on that now. We do have a Rod in hand, but I'll wait until after this Greninja uses its attack to Rod some energy back in and use these Mirage Gates. So that's cool. Let's just Escape Rope. And then, thank you, Mont, for that Prime sub. The boss, yeah, might have been good instead of the second Mirage Gate, but it's fine. I really want to be able to power up a couple of Deoxys throughout this game. So I felt like the Mirage Gates were good grabs. And also the Giratina is going to be coming up anyway. So I still have a boss's orders left in the deck. And I'll be able to Ordinary Rod in some energy, use both the Mirage Gates, because I'll be able to throw both of these water energies back into the deck. So Moonlight Shuriken is definitely going to be the attack. We're going to knock out 2 Comfeys, go to 3 prizes left, which leaves me in a really good spot. Hopefully my opponent did not disconnect. This is really the game of a lifetime. Yeah, we're loving it. So, yes. Let's leave everything here. This seems fine. I could bench Cramorant, though probably not entirely necessary. But I could get Roxanne next turn, so that's what I need to look out for. And I don't want to bench this Comfey because I said, you know, my opponent can Radiant Greninja. Roxanne me, Radiant Greninja, both my guys, right? So that's fine. We got to hope we don't get Roxanne next turn. The alternative is I could do 90 damage to Giratina and knock out 1 Comfey, which also I don't hate, right? And that also keeps me off of Roxanne. So I think I'll do that. Yeah. That I think actually makes the most sense. Because then I just knock out both Giratinas and I win, right? So we'll do that. And we're going to discard both of these. So this actually... This, I think, is ideal, right? Because we don't go on to our 3 prize turn, so I'm not going to get Roxanne yet. So the idea is that we can do 190 to one of these, and then we can just V-star the other, and we win the game, right? And the biggest way that we lose is if we get Roxanne, so we don't want to allow ourselves to get Roxanne, which is why we're softening this guy up. I also am saving this Deoxys in my hand. They're just going to shred, so this is like perfect for us. We've got my opponent right where we want them. So let's promote Deoxys VSTAR. And I think we're kind of just chilling. We can Ordinary Rod and do both. Yeah, we're going to shuffle in the Greninja, and we're going to shuffle in both water energies because I've got psychic energies in my deck. So let's Mirage Gate, and we're going to put a psychic energy here and put a water energy here. Let's see. How do I want to do this? Because I could V-star this, but no, we don't want to do that. So I'm going to have to Mirage Gate again, both of these. And we're going to have to put the Psychic Energy here and the Water Energy here. And I'm going to have to find a Psychic Energy for game, but that's okay. We can Ultra Ball away. I think the Deoxys and the Cramorant is fine. And go get the Radiant Greninja just to give ourselves a little bit of board stability. And I can put the Choice Belt here now, which seems fine, just to kind of thin the deck down. And we're going to Psychic Javelin for knockout and do 60 damage to the Giratina. So really what I need is a Psychic Energy. Training Court's a huge help, obviously. Scoop Up Net's also a huge help. So those are 2 really good cards off of the prizes. I just need to be able to finish off this Giratina, do 220 damage with Star Force. That's just 4 energy. So if my opponent has 1 energy on their Giratina, I need 3 energy here. So that could be... I could also just Psychic Javelin for game. So either of those will get me there, which is cool. But Roxanne is the big question right now. Can my opponent Roxanne me to 2? That will give them the highest chance of being able to win. Taking the lead against any deck is always kind of stressful because they could just Roxanne you to a low hand size, and unfortunately I did not have the extra psychic energy to attach to this Deoxys to kind of prep it for game. Let's see. My opponent also has to Mirage Gate to their Giratina. They have plenty of cards in a lost zone now, so they are digging for Mirage Gates. They need to have enough energy in their deck to be able to Mirage Gates to the Giratina. And they have to knock out this Deoxys. They just have to. All right, here's Giratina. They have Energy Recycler to put the energy back into the deck. They've only got 8 cards left in the deck. Presumably, they've used all their Switch cards, all 4 Scoop Up Nets and Switch right there. They probably have the Mirage Gates, as they only have 1 in the discard pile right now. So here we go. Mirage Gate to the Giratina. And their highest chance of being able to pull off the win is going to be to use Lost Impact, and they have to Lost Zone those energies. They can't Star Requiem. If they Star Requiem, I can very easily take the knockout with the Deoxys. And here is the Roxanne to 2. Whew. So we need to draw off of these 2 cards. Oh, baby. Yes. Yes. Let's go. This is what I'm talking about. Perfect draws. I'm pretty sure I got an energy left in the deck. I think I got at least 1. So we can promote Deoxys and Mirage Gates. No! 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 I'm 10 damage short! No! If I find a Zigzagoon, no! 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 The perfect game. The perfect game. No! Ah, my heart. I could have won that game if instead of Ultra Balling for the Greninja at the end, I needed to Ultra Ball for Galarian Zigzagoon and just put 10 damage on it. That's all I needed to do. Playing against Origin Form, Palkia V-Star. We'll see if my opponents can find any Sobbles turn 1. They don't, which I love to see, and I've got Colress's Experiment. So this is about as good as it gets. I want to use my Fog Crystals to go get a couple of Deoxys out of the deck first because I'm good on basic Pokemon. So I want to find switching cards with my Colress's Experiment. So we're going to do that. Let's Colress, and we find Switch, Capture Energy. I mean, Battle VIP Pass is kind of gnarly if I want to go get Greninja, which could really help me to have an explosive start. So I could take these, send those 2 to the Lost Zone, which is probably okay. This could get me the Greninja, and then I'm really drawing cards. Could also get me the Cramorant, so I like that. We don't need the Capture Energy as much as we probably want this, so we'll take these. And then we'll battle VIP Pass, and we can get Greninja and Cramorant. And then we can concealed cards. See 2 more cards. Flower selecting, and I'll take the Rod. And we can switch into this Comfey and flower selecting, and we can take the Roxanne. And at this point, I have got 4 cards in the Lost Zone. I will gladly attach an energy to Deoxys, switch into Cramorant, and turn 1 spit innocently for 110 damage. So that was pretty sick. Yeah, that felt good. We've got a pretty strong looking board right now. My opponent started with Irida in their hand, so they could not get their Sobbles out turn 1 going first because they could not play that supporter card. So they had to wait until turn 2, but at this point, I'm ramping up pretty quickly. We've already got damage on this Palkia, which is extremely good because Deoxys does 190 damage and 60 to a benched Pokemon. So that's really good damage spread with Deoxys if my opponent doesn't get Manaphy down, because I can finish off this Palkia and set up another Palkia for a knockouts later. My opponent's got 1 Quick Ball, getting rid of another Irida for a Sobble. These are the 70 hit point Sobbles my opponent is playing because they do not want to get mathed out by Sableye, which makes sense. There's a Mirage Gate. That's fine. Let's concealed cards first. And my opponent does not have anything else down. I really would love to just attack with Deoxys this turn. That would be great. So let's do this. Concealed cards. We could discard the water energy. And we find Colress's Experiment, which is nuts. So let's play that. Off the Colress's Experiment, I'm looking at Training Court, Scoop Up Net, and probably just another Colress's Experiment to allow me to dig more. So we like that. Now we can start using flower selecting. And we'll take the boss's orders. And then we can Scoop Up Net Comfey. And flower selecting again. And we find more Scoop Up Nets. So I've got 7 cards in the Lost Zone now, and I can guarantee take a knockout with... No, I cannot take a knockout with Power Edge. I'm a little short. So we need to find that Deoxys V-Star, which is fine. So let's put this Comfey down, Scoop Up Nets. And we'll flower selecting again. And there's Choice Belt, which now I can take the knockout with Deoxys V. As I can Power Edge for enough. So that's cool. Let's Ordinary Rod and put the 2 energy back in. And then we can use Mirage Gate to accelerate those energy to my Deoxys. We can retreat the Comfey into Deoxys, bench this Comfey, and my opponent does not have an out on board to deal with my Deoxys right now. So we out here housing with Deoxys V. And there's a Deoxys V-Star right there. So we'll be ready to Psychic Javelin or whatever next turn, which is crazy because I've got boss's orders in my hand too. So if my opponent benches a Palkia V, I can just boss it up and Psychic Javelin for 220 damage to knock it out, which is pretty neat. Love that. And sure enough, there is a Palkia, which is coming straight onto the bench. My opponent would have to Marnie in order to disrupt my hand this turn, and they do have Marnie, so that is good for them. But I'm thinking that I probably am going to find a Deoxys V-Star off this Marnie because... No, we don't. It's fine. We've got Radiant Greninja. Because I hadn't seen any all game, right? And since Marnie doesn't reorder your deck, it's like I know those I know those Deoxys are like right there. I just gotta dig a little bit deeper and I can find them. Thankfully, I do have Radiant Greninja, so I can draw some cards. And I can push with Escape Rope if I care to. So let's conceal cards, and we can discard the Psychic. I mean, it would be insane to Moonlight Shuriken. We find another Colress, which is nuts. So here are the Deoxys that I was telling you about. So I knew they were there. And then, let's see, Deoxys. Because I'm going to be able to soften up the Origin Form Palkia and just set it up for knockout next turn. So that's crazy. So we're just going to take these cards and just set up everything we need. To take big knockouts over the course of the next couple turns. I guess I do need to find some Psychic Energy, huh? That's fine. I've got 2 in the discard pile. Maybe I should have taken the Training Courts. It's fine. We're going to use Psychic Javelin to take the knockouts and put 60 onto this guy. And we'll take our prize. We find Mirage Gate, which is exactly what I need. I could even just V-Star attack this Palkia if I want to. Next turn, I do have the Psychic Energy that I need in deck. So that's dope. And they're, like, really got their back up against a wall right now with just one Drizzile. They have to find everything that they need. They're going to Roxanne me to 2, which makes sense. So we get just 2 cards, and they get 6. It's not a great hand for us, but I don't know that my opponent can do much in the way of, you know, taking a KO this turn. I think they're probably just going to Moonlight Shuriken and soften up both my Deoxys. And Roxanne is a very good card. I mean, I'm down 3 Colress's Experiments. I don't have a lot of board state right now. So I do need to find something. If I find an energy, I can draw with Radiant Greninja. We find Mirage Gates, which does help. So let's play the Mirage Gates. Oh, I need that Training Court to go get a Psychic Energy. Ooh, I did not realize that I'm out like that. So that's not good. That's not good at all. That's fine. Put that energy on the Comfey and have to Psychic Javelin and this thing has 120 damage on it. That's fine. We'll do that. I know, I should have used Greninja to discard the water earlier. There's a Psychic Energy right there every time. I knew I was like short in energy because there's not that many Psychic Energy gone. So yeah, there's probably 2 in my prizes right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, actually, that's just the one that was in my prize. But yeah, we're chilling. All I need to do is knock out this V-Star and I win. I've got Star Force for game. It does 250 damage with my Choice Belt. So we're huge chilling. All I got to do is promote this Deoxys. Game over, baby. That's it. We got it right here. GG's, mate. But that's why I put the energy on the Comfey so that I had a little bit of extra draw with flower selecting if I needed it. And look at that. I got Roxanne off the top. Bro, we had everything. Look at how many ways I had it. It was never a question about whether or not we had it. Star Force. Knockout. 270 damage. Let's go. Before we get to the next game, I want to take a moment to show you all the latest in fall fashion. The Tricky Gym hoodie. in Heather Gray, available for a limited time at trickygym.com. Thank you so much to everybody who has already picked one up. They really help to support the channel. Now, let's get on with the gameplay. I am playing against the Dracozolt deck, which hilariously I can beat, so this is fine. Just thinking about this matchup, Deoxys V-Star's V-Star attack can one-hit KO Dracozolt, so that do not matter. That's fine. We can use Radiant Greninja to concealed cards turn one, draw some cards. We like that. Here's Deoxys. Here's a Capture Energy. And we can go get a Comfey to start using flower selecting. So let's do that. We'll take the Choice Belts. And I can pass to my opponent. That's fine. Next turn, we've got Colress's Experiment. They're playing Path. That's not a problem. I do not care. And then you what? You're going to Primeval Beak. That's fine. Marnie. Oh. Marnie is the card that my deck does not like to see. It's fine. Marnie Path, right? That's fine. There's my Battle VIP Pass that I wish I had last turn, but it's all good. Flower selecting. We've got a Scoop Up Net. That'll do. So we can Scoop Up Net the Comfey and promote Sableye. No, maybe, and retreat back into Comfey. That's fine. All right. Yep. And we're going to retreat back into Sableye or into Comfey and flower selecting again. Really not finding anything good here. It's fine. We'll keep the Choice Belts. And then I cannot afford to let my Comfey get knocked out, but doesn't this thing only do like 60 damage? So I think we're okay. Let's pass. And then we do need my Comfey to survive the turn. Yeah, this thing only does 60 damage, so that's okay. We're chilling. Spark Trap. Not going to want to swing into this guy unless I'm taking a knockout. Here's my Deoxys. We'll flower select again. More Battle VIP passes that I missed out on the first turn of the game. We're still trying to dig our way out of this, which is not going super duper well, but I will escape rope. We can send up Sableye and pass. And just wait. I mean, the thing about the Dracozolt deck is it's not actually putting forth any pressure, so it doesn't really matter. They're only doing 60 damage. So I can afford to take my time. And then if I can get up to 6 energy, I can do 360 damage. I mean, even just with 5 energy between the two of us. Heck, dude, if they knock out my Sableye, I misplayed. I'm taking a knockout next start. Here we go. Colress's Experiment. Yeah, I win. Literally right here. This game over, bro. Check this out. You're mad. Yeah, you're just out of here. That's it. I didn't even have to do anything. We just popped it. All right, we're playing against Zoroark. This matchup's going to be sick. Okay, I'm excited about this one. Looks like I'm playing against Hisuian Zoroark V-Star. They're going first with the Dunsparce active. I've got a very middling opening hand, but we've got a lot of hope in this Comfey to be able to select some nice flowers and find us something good. I do have Ultra Ball, and we top deck Battle VIP Pass. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. So I really want to find Colress's Experiment, so I'm going to thin some basics out of my deck first. We're going to get Comfey and Radiant Greninja, as those guys allow me to draw the most cards. We'll flower selecting, and we find Scoop Up Net, which is quite good. We'll Scoop Up Net and select some more flowers, why don't we? And there's Colress, which is exactly what we want. So we can Colress's Experiments now. We find another Battle VIP Pass, which is sick. We can take another Scoop Up Net. And honestly, at this point, we are feeling pretty confident about everything that we got going on. So I'm thinking that just more Switch cards to get us the most explosive start that we can possibly have. Do I want to go this whole game without the rod? Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Pedal to the metal, baby. Let's go Battle VIP Pass. And we do want to get a couple of Deoxys. We probably also want to get a Cramorant so that we can take a turn 1 knockout on my opponent's Dunsparce, which is going to be pretty good. So we're going to do that. And then we can Scoop Up Net. Oh no, my Comfey. That's fine. I should have put the Training Court out. It's fine. Scoop Up Net on this guy. Send up this guy. And then we can concealed cards also. So let's concealed cards the water energy. See a few more cards. Find Fog Crystal for another Deoxys, which is great. So we can flower selecting and get the Psychic Energy, feels good. And at this point, I should have more than enough cards in the Lost Zone, so we can just Air Balloon into Cramorant to take the knockout, bench the Comfey. I'm going to save... Nah, well, I should have played this Training Court a long time ago, but it's not really going to matter. All right, we'll do that. Fog Crystal. Go get another Deoxys. Feels good. Bench that Deoxys. Psychic Energy on the Deoxys. Retreat. And we'll go Spit Innocently for the turn 1 knockout, which feels very good. We'll take our prize, find another Psychic Energy. So now we are on Mirage Gate watch. We want to find a Mirage Gate to help us get our Deoxys powered up for a turn 2 attack. We have everything that we need. We've got 5 cards in the Lost Zone and a Colress's Experiment in my hand that we know we're going to get to keep. We've also got Radiant Greninja. It's possible to attack with Radiant Greninja. It's going to be a lot harder since we did get rid of our Ordinary Rod. My opponent digging still. They know they're going to knock out this Cramorant this turn. I can do... I mean, with 2 energy on Deoxys, I can take a 1-hit KO on Zoroark, but I think I'd rather save my 1-hit KO for the end of the game. I can also go single prize attackers if I want to. I can go Radiant Greninja. I can go Sableye. Like, we can just do things that way. So let's send up Comfey. I've got the Ultra Ball, which I really like to find my Deoxys. That feels good. I've also got Boss's Orders, so I could potentially knock out that Zoroark while softening up this one, which would also feel great. So let's... Since I might want to play Boss's Orders, we're going to do other draw options first. Let's conceal cards. And we're just looking for a Mirage Gates. Flower selecting. Take the Comfey. Do that. Retreat into Comfey. Flower selecting. Take the Scoop Up Nets. Scoop Up Net, Comfey. Promote this Comfey. Flower selecting. We find Deoxys. And then I've got this Deoxys here, which is fine. We are not finding that. Yeah, I'm thinking that's just going to be a Colress's experiment angle here. And we still don't find the show. We still do not find the Mirage Gate, and there's only 13 cards left in my deck, and at this point we're probably pretty low on energy. So not fantastic. Let's Scoop Up Net this Comfey. Promote this one. Flower selecting. We find Zigzagoon and a Deoxys. I think, did I punt one Deoxys to the lost zone already? I did. So I kind of have to keep this Deoxys, though I really want to not. Wow, how many Mirage Gates did I prize? This is pretty nuts, honestly. We've got this one. Sure, I'll play the Training Courts. And then I can switch one more time and flower selecting one more time. And my goodness, we still have not. I mean, okay. Sheesh. All right, we'll take the Sableye, which is fine. I'll attach here. Choice Belt here. Switch into Deoxys and Star Force. I lost zoned one Mirage Gate like turn 1, thinking that I would find a second one by the time I had 9 cards left in deck, but I have not. Yes. There is only one in the lost zone, bro. That's it. There are 4 in the deck. I assumed that we would see one. There they are. So I was thinking of using Boss next turn. Well, because it does 60, right? His attack does 60 to the bench. So I was like, I'm just going to finish this off with the spread. Yes, that's what I'm setting up. That was the game plan anyways. Because if I waste 2 energy on this Deoxys that's just going to get 1-hit KO'd, that feels really bad, right? I've got Crobats. So they're going to be able to take this knockout this turn. Oh, they probably play Sharon Scare. It's true. Yeah, well, could have got punished, but I didn't. So, chillin'. Luminion. That's fine. They got a whole bunch of weaklings on their bench. Take this knockout with Ticking Curse. I can promote Comfey. We'll see what we can do. They've got 3 prizes left. So I know I can Mirage Gate these. I could Moonlight Shuriken this turn. No, I can't. Well, no, I can't. But I can start building up towards a Moonlight Shuriken, which is kind of cool. Might as well attach that water energy there. And concealed cards, this Capture Energy. We find Ultra Ball, Capture Energy. We can Flower Selecting. We find Rope. We might as well use the Rope. Retreat into Comfey. Flower Selecting again. We find Sableye and Boss. At this point, Boss is probably the play for me. So then I can... Yeah, we're like really close to winning this game, bro. I think I probably needed to keep that Sableye, though. But the Boss is also really sick because I can Boss and take 4 prizes right now, which is nuts. Yeah, so let's escape rope. I'm like so close. I'm so close to being able to pull this off. I'm taking 4 prizes. We're setting up Deoxys. We've got the Capture Energy. There's 2 Mirage. All my Mirage Gates were in the deck! You've got to be joking! All right, we find Roxanne. So I can definitely still win this game because I can Roxanne and maybe get my waters back in. And then all I need to do is Moonlight Shuriken. And as you saw, all of my stinking things were in the deck. All my Mirage Gates are in there. So all I need to do is Roxanne the energy back into the deck and not draw into one of my water energies, and we're chilling. That was a sick 4-prize turn, though, wasn't it? Good job, Deoxys. Oh, you did it real good, bud. I'm so proud of you. Wow. All right, we're getting Marnie, which is perfect, actually, because they're going to Marnie me directly into the win. Because I needed those water energies in my deck and the Mirage Gates in my hand. I've even got the boss's orders now. So I could just boss something up. So there we go. GG's, bruh. Radiant Greninja. Gonna finish things off with a nice Moonlight Shuriken. A Mirage Gate right there. Attach. Boss up your Halucha just to show you that I had it. And Moonlight Shuriken for 2 more prizes. Let's go. Radiant Greninja finishing the job. Good stuff. Man, that was a grind to find those Mirage Gates. That was crazy. But it was cool. It worked out. I don't know if you noticed, but we're awfully close to 100,000 subscribers here on YouTube. So if you could, help me out a little bit, that'd be sick. Y'all take it easy and have a good one. See ya.